In this video, we'll show you how to set up an MISP test environment so you can get some experience with a threat intelligence platform. Here we have the latest .ova file for MISP, and we're going to import this into VirtualBox. If we click File, Import Appliance, and then select our .ova file, click Next, leave these settings as they are, agree to the terms, and then start the import. Once the import has finished, we can run the virtual machine. We can log in with their username MISP and the password P password 1234. If we try to run ifconfig, the command isn't found, so we will install it with sudo apt install net-tools. The next thing we need to do is put our VM in bridged mode, so it has its own unique IP address. Now, let's close the VM and reopen it. Now that the VM is in bridged mode, when we run ifconfig, we can see it has its own IP address, 192.168.1.248. We needed to do this to ensure we can connect to the web interface from a remote system, in this case, our host. To prevent any issues with the site trying to load resources with the URL of localhost, we need to set the base URL to the IP address. Run the command sudo/var/www/MISP/app/console/cake space base URL space https://192.168.1.248. We can now visit this URL in a web browser on our host system to connect to our virtual machine running MISP. To log in, use the username admin@admin.test and the password admin. We will be prompted to change our password. And now we can start to explore MISP. First, let's ensure the base URL command has worked. Head to Administration, Server Settings and Maintenance, then click the MISP Settings tab and see if MISP.baseURL is set to the IP address. If it is not, double-click it to change it. Let's list all users by clicking the link on the left-hand side. We can see we are the only user. If we click on User Settings, we can see our permissions. Now, let's add a new user so we aren't all alone. We need to input a username, select an organization, and then add them. Click Administration, List Organizations. Currently, there is only one with the name org name. Click Edit on the right-hand side, and we can change the org name, nationality, and sector. We can see these when we list organizations. Let's also create a new organization for Security Red Team. If we list the orgs now, we can see both of these. Let's move our new users over to the Security Red Team organization by editing their profile. All done. The next thing we are going to show you is the dashboard. We can place useful widgets here to monitor certain aspects of the platform. First, let's add a widget for MISP workers. This shows us the running processes for the backend, with workers designed for different tasks. Let's also add a widget for trending tags, which will be automatically populated when we pull in intelligence later. Next, we want to bring intelligence into our platform. Here, we can see a lot of default threat feeds, and on the right, we can see all of them except number 3 are disabled. Let's select the first 5 and enable them. Now, we can pull all events using the down arrow icon on the right. Let's do this for the first 3. Going back to the dashboard, we can see that we have 3 pending jobs, but 0 of the workers are alive, so we need to initialize them from the virtual machine. Use the command sudo -u www-data bash/var/www/misp/app/console/workers/start.sh. Now back on the dashboard, we can see that one of them is alive and working on the events. If we view the event list, we can see we now have intelligence in our platform. Let's take a look at this ransomware event. Click on the eye icon to view it, and we can see that it was published by CIRCL, the developers behind MISP. We can see tags that have been assigned, and at the bottom we have some IOCs and even a virus total link. Clicking on the virus total link shows this is a nasty piece of ransomware, and it is widely detected. Let's view another event. This one here has a lot of MITRE attack tactics. Let's take a deeper look. At the bottom, we have tons of IOCs, and if we click on the attack matrix, we can see clearly which tactics have been mapped to this event, tracking a threat actor's activity. We can also create our own events by clicking Add Event. We need to give it a name. Let's call it APT28 NCSC Report. Assign a threat level of undefined and set the privacy to our organization only. To add IOCs, let's find a report that includes some. We will be using this NCSC report on APT28. We can copy the list of IOCs shown here, domain names and command and control server IP addresses, and add them using the free text import tool. We can neaten the input a little bit and then hit submit. We can see all of the IOCs have been correctly assigned to a category and type. Click Submit. Now, the workers will begin importing these for us. Heading back to the dashboard, we can see the Trending Tags widget is now populated based on our stored events. Going back to the events list, we can see our custom event. Let's view it again. Now we can see all of the IOCs have been imported and stored within MISP. We can also set our own tags. There is no tag for APT28 because we haven't created it, So let's use some existing ones, such as APT and OSINT, to better define the information in this event. In this video, we've covered installing the test version of MISP, creating users and organizations, a basic dashboard, pulling intelligence into MISP, and creating our own event.